Hey, welcome folks to the Släck Game 8 in our Norse playthrough, where we have come up against Necromantic. So this is an interesting team, so we'll get into it here and we'll just go through the pieces because they're, yeah, it's interesting. So, oh yeah, before we start, we gave Andra Strip Ball at that level up. So he has two whites, two flesh golems, two werewolves, and the rest are zombies, but he has no substitutes. Um, on both of his flesh golems, he's leveled them up once and got block, and on the other one, this guy here, he's got mighty blow. He's another mighty blow here on his white, who he's leveled up, and this is a like a vanilla white. His two werewolves have nothing either, but he has dirty player on both of his zombies, and he has what is this, pro, I think it's called, a leader. Sorry, leader on this zombie. What leader does is gives you a free reroll as long as that player's on the pitch. So yeah, sorry, kick off here, and we get another reroll. We are getting so many of these. I'm definitely cheating, and it bounced into Sydney's hands, so that's nice. But yeah, this other zombie has strength and dirty player. So I was very interested to see. So Peter goes for the block here with mighty blow. And on our first block, we kill a zombie. So that's great. I mean, zombies aren't the most useful pieces, but it's great to get. He's no substitute, so he's going to be playing with 10 for the rest of the game. So yeah, mighty blow coming in handy there for Peter. But yeah, I was really interested to see what he does with this piece because it's a strength 4 piece, and it's added a lot of team value to his team. But if he's failing with it and he has no bribes, is he going to get a strength 4 player sent off? So I have a pop at the leader piece there, because if I can injure the leader zombie, then he goes down to 2 rerolls for the rest of the game. Or even if I KO him, he goes down to 2 rerolls. So we cage up before we do our block with Yannick. And I move up Jaffa. I was thinking of moving up Jaffa here to make sure that it would be 3 die into 3 die. But I decided to just keep Jaffa there to just kind of make it a bit more difficult for them to go around me. But the 3 die works out fine, and we get an armor break but no injury or KO. So yeah, this is a little bit of a tough one because we can't do our patented side cage here because the werewolves are frenzy, and the werewolves will surf us if we try to do that. So we're going to have to try and keep this normal cage as long as we can. So Jaff is surviving a block there. And that was the blitz, which I'm happy about because it was a blitz that wasn't by a mighty blow piece. So anytime he does that, I'm delighted. And he moves the werewolf in. So we take the easy block first. And we get an injury. But this time it's going to be regen because it didn't go into a cutscene. But still, that's another player off the pitch. And that is Bassoon leveling up. So hopefully he rolls guard. Right, so we move up Yannick to base up here. I wanted to kind of maybe tie up these pieces. And then we go in for a frenzy blitz. The idea of Yannick being here is if I can frenzy and I move in here, it's still a 2 die block. And I wanted to take a pop at the mighty blow piece to try and take out I want to, if I could, take out as many mighty blow pieces as I can. So I'll be trying to prioritize them with the mighty blow of my own. So yeah, just move the cage up a little bit further. I don't want to base this flesh golem, so I just move it up 1 square. I was thinking about dodging out with Jaffa. It's a 4+, but I decided to try and make him roll. But he rolled. It's not difficult. I mean, he has block, so what I'd be looking for is dub skulls or another push. But I have made this difficult for him. These players here, I've completely tied him up. It's only a 1 die block that I'm giving him, and if he does it with the werewolf, it's a frenzy. Speaking of frenzy, this guy's fallen into my frenzy trap, into a cage, but he gets lucky. He doesn't roll a boat down or a skull. So the werewolf has opened up our cage with that uphill frenzy, and then he moves in his flesh golem to base. So our cage is now open and base, so we need to deal with that. He gets the 1 die, unfortunately. And now, because he's opened with that 1 die, he gets 2 dies on all these pieces here. And they all pay off from there. They all get knockdowns. Okay, so yeah, a bit of a pickle here because of, especially because of these two stuns. I really needed these players to stand up. But first things first, we need to clear our cage. And so we go for the block here. And that being so, we could push up here if we got a push and have another block here. So we had two kind of bites of the cherry here. So yeah, we've cleared our cage. So the plan now is to push, to blitz from this angle and push the werewolf away. And then bring Cine in a, it's a messy protective shield that I put up, but it's only giving him a 1 die. And it's only giving him a 1 die with Frenzy, which will, so yeah, Frenzy up here. So that goes, I was hoping for a knockdown. I had to go into the uphill, but by doing so, I've now based his werewolf and his white. So I thought that was worth the risk. Yannick just hitting a poor zombie and gets the knockdown. No armor break, but I'm happy enough with that. And then I try and go for the 1 die block here. I have block, he doesn't. So, you know, the only thing that screws me is the skull, but unfortunately I did roll a skull. So yeah, what I mean here is, this isn't great, obviously, but the only piece that can actually get me without making ridiculous rolls is the werewolf. So they have to knock this guy down first, or push him away, which they do. So that frees up the werewolf. But now the werewolf has to go all the way around here and then make a 1 die here on Frenzy that pushes into a 2 die uphill. So he's going for it. And I have block and he doesn't have block, but he rolls a POW. So yeah, that was, I mean, listen, my defense wasn't great there. And then he rolls a 6 on the pickup. And he needs a 6 to pick that up. So yeah, that was a good turn for my opponent. And then he goes for the foul with the strength piece. Doesn't get the strength piece sent off and does manage to injure David. So that was a lot of dice roll by my opponent on that turn, and it all worked out well for him. So unfortunately, I lose the player and I lose the ball. And the ball actually goes into the hands of my opponent. So yeah, really bad turn for me. So this is a fun one. I want to explain what I'm trying to do here. So, pick everyone up. There is no 2 dice here anywhere without me making some dodges. So what I decide to do instead is I use Dynamic Sporadic to hit this white, and if I can knock this white down, then I push him here. That moves Cole up to this space, and that gives Peter a 2 die block now. And it pushes the ball out this way, and all of his pieces are around here. Then I can use Andra to dodge and pick up the ball, or blitz through and pick up the ball. So, let's see how it goes. And I roll a skull. I re-roll, but I roll a Defender Stumbles. Okay, so plan set in motion. And I get a KO, so that's one of the whites gone. It's not the white with Mighty Blow, unfortunately, but still, whites are great pieces for Necromantic, so I'm delighted. And that gives me the 2 die now. So, with the 2 die, break armor, and the ball scatters into a nice place. Then I blitz with Andra, it's a 2 die blitz. Push the zombie away and go to pick up the ball on a 2+. I roll a 2 and then I scoot up over here. So the only player now that can hit me is this werewolf, but there are blocks to be made. Hit the werewolf. So yeah, then I wanted to dodge out with Jaffa. There was a 2 die block here, but I felt that the dodge was more important to make, and so it was a 50-50, and if I could run Jaff up here, that makes this werewolf's task a lot more difficult. But unfortunately, he didn't get 50-50. But he does roll a dub skull on the block, so now that's made his job a lot more difficult, because he doesn't have a reroll on this turn to make that 1 die blitz. So he brings the zombie up. The zombie can base me with 2 GFIs, but he doesn't go for it. So here comes the blitz, and Dynamic Sporadic manages to trip him up. So delighted with that, and that worked out really well. I could score with Andra, but there are actually a lot of blocks I can make here. And if I move up here, he has no one that can actually reach me. So I decide to move Andra into a safe position, maybe score next turn if I have to. But first I want to make some blocks and try and get some injuries. So I bring Cine up here in case I get a push to ensure the 2 die in the frenzy. I actually end up needing it. Again, have another pop at the leader with the Mighty Blow piece on Peter, but unfortunately no KO, or no knockout. So more 2-die blocks here, trying to get some injuries. And then I bring, so the next move is with Yannick, so I want to make sure this zombie can't actually touch me. So I come in with Yannick with the blitz. Yannick decides he wants to fight and hits, but unfortunately, even with armor value 7 on this guy, doesn't end up doing anything. So then I go with the fail with Nat. I figure if he's going to fail, I'm going to try 2. I actually get the injury, but unfortunately he regens, and on my first fail, Nat gets sent off. I think there's like a 33% chance of getting sent off, I think, every fail. So unfortunately, on my first attempt, so that's not a good trade, obviously, because I'm close to scoring, and once I do, he's going to get this werewolf back. But yeah, I mean, like if I did manage to knock this werewolf out of the game with an injury, that's definitely worth being sent off because the werewolf is a really important piece. So he brings his guys up. Makes a block on Jaffa. Goes for the 1-die, which I was surprised about. This guy really wants to try and hurt my players. Actually gets the 1-die again, but Peter's okay. And then dodges out on a 4+. So, I'm probably going to score with Andrew this turn because his werewolf is here. But first off, I decide to try and make some hits. I have a reroll, so I could use it if I want to. Make the hit with Peter, and Peter manages to injure a white. Unfortunately, the white regens, so another regen for my opponent, but still more SPP for me. Then I decide to score because I just wasn't comfortable with basing that werewolf. The werewolf was in non-GFI range of me. I didn't want to really mess around. So yeah, we have an injury on David and a sending off on Nat. We have managed to kill one of his zombies. His white stays out, so that's great. We're even on players again. And then he concedes. So yeah, must have not liked how that first half went. I don't think, I don't think the game is over at all. He still had both his whites in play, both his werewolves in play, and one of his whites is KO'd, but both of his flesh golems in play. It was his drive, he had 3 turns to score, and then the whole second half. But yeah, I'll take it. I mean, that's a Dynamic Sporadic and Nat picking up the 2 MVPs that you get for concede, and then Peter getting 2 injuries, Captain Bassoon getting the injury, and Andre getting the score. So yeah, happy with that. So that has given us some level ups. So like I said on the Slack, we're introducing the policy of kicking linemen if they don't roll guard. The only thing I will say to that is I think I want to go to 3 rerolls. We're not going to keep getting lucky and getting a free reroll every kickoff. So I think if I buy that, then I can't sack anyone then next. So yeah, I think we just do this and we stay at 3 rerolls for the rest of the run. But if Captain Bassoon and Nat don't roll guard, then they'll be sacked as soon as I have enough money to sack them. Let's see what they get. Okay, that is just a normal skill, so I'm probably going to sack Bassoon. Trying to think what is handy. What do I need now? Maybe more tackle. Let's see what Nat gets. Oof. Nat gets extra agility. Okay, well that's Nat still on the team. Okay, so that's 2 agility 4 pieces on the team. That's really nice. Okay. So Bassoon stays at 50k if I don't level him up. So I think that's the play. We kick Bassoon once we get once we have one more match, because one more match will probably get 50k total. So we kick Bassoon and then hire in a new person. Or maybe do we... Yeah, I mean, if we're going to run Dirty Player, maybe we want to keep at a sub around. And then Bassoon becomes our Dirty Player. And we kick Striker because I don't want tackle. Yeah, that's probably the play. But for now, we're going to keep Bassoon not leveled up because even if we give him Dirty Player, it's going to be useless because we don't have our full cohort of teams, our players. So we will play another game, get extra more money, buy in another player, and then the Dirty Player will work fine. Okay, so that has been game 8. Quick one, but I hope you enjoyed it nevertheless. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye.